Yeah, we're going to talk about these libtards. These libtards. Back in 2009, the liar in chief, Barack Insane Obama, said that Americans do not consider ourselves a Christian nation, which was a lie. That was a lie, but then again, everything out of his mouth was a lie, including his successor, who's his puppet, because this is Obama's third term, Joe Burton. Everything out of his mouth is a lie. America was founded explicitly on Christian as a Christian nation. And for many generations, we remain the freest, most prosperous, powerful, altruistic, and Christian country on the face of the earth. But now, let's take a look at us. America is disintegrating right before your very eyes. It's on the brink of destruction. How did we get here? And can our once great nation be saved? We're going to take a look at that. As recent as a generation ago, this country's dominant culture was, even though it was not perfect, nothing will ever will be, but our dominant culture was patriotic, Judeo-Christian. It was essentially moral. Of course, there's always been this tug of war between the libtards and the Republicans. The traditional Democrats, we're not talking about the libtards of today, the demon rats, but the traditional Democrats championed such liberal policies as taxing the rich, a higher minimum wage, of course, more gun control, and a larger safety net, legalized abortion, right? Meanwhile, back then, Republicans favored way less government, way less government intervention, more individual liberty, free market capitalism, and protecting the unborn. Quite the contrast for those of you who say we're two wings of the same bird, right? And despite these contentious battles between the traditional Democrats and Republicans, and pendulums swinging over who controlled the White House, Jimmy Carter, it's going to be Reagan, you know what I mean? And Congress. Even then, even if Republicans weren't always in control of Congress or we didn't have a Republican president, America was safe, it was secure, it was confident, the freedoms were intact. Of course, we're talking about before 9/11, right? And our overall culture was definitely pretty much stable. It was sane, pretty decent. It was nothing like this. This libtard over here. It was nothing like this libtard. This libtard right here went to get medicine at the pharmacy. So the pharmacist comes out and puts it on the table for whatever that is. And this thing is whining and bitching and crying because the pharmacist didn't hand it to it. Just put it out there for this thing to go pick it up off the table or whatever. This is what our culture is now. A lot of it. This is what a culture war is. This right here, it's day 32 of being a boy. Nothing this thing does is like a boy. Over exaggerated, it's acting, trying to act all tough and you're not. You're a girl trying to act like a boy. You say you're going to go for a prostate checkup. You don't have a prostate. You carry this thing right here, admitted to carrying around Viagra, knowing that she doesn't have a wee-wee, and admits it. She says she likes to pretend because that's all these bitch libtards do is pretend. All right? They pretend to be Americans. They pretend to be human. They don't do a very good job of that. And they damn sure don't do a good job of trying to portray themselves as sane because they are absolutely out of control. All these demon rats now, this steaming inferno of unprecedented madness, is because these libtards, these demon rats, are not the Democrats of old. They're not the JFK variety. They're not even liberals. They're not true liberals. The only thing they're liberal with is sin and insanity. These demon rat politicians today overwhelmingly favor late-term abortion up to the very moment of birth. That's not the Democrats of old. All right? It's known as infanticide because that's what they are. They're the culture of death. This Democrat Party, and this one keeps bitching about whiteness, white supremacy. What zone are they in? What era are these libtards in? What white supremacy? She keeps going, white. These idiots. You can look this up. Libs of TikTok compilation on ScrewTube, YouTube. With that guy reacting. So these Democrats of old are not the ones of today. They're Marxists now. They're commies. They're lopping off their chests, their breastises. They're lopping off their wee-wees. They're pushing for chemical castration, so to speak, of children. They're trying to force their agenda on children. Tranny hour. We never had any of this back then. It never was out in the open. We never had any of this. This was always in the closet. This insanity would be locked up in an insane asylum. You remember the term coming out of a closet? Well, they were always in the closet, these weirdos. But now they're out. They're parading it. This is a totally different, ramped up version of Democrats of old, for lack of better words. Democrats of old were nothing like this, really. This country, that party was hijacked by commies and Marxists, tomato. I mean, they're amputating their sex organs, their wee-wees. They think they can really become another gender. They think there's more than two genders. They refer to themselves as multiple people, as in they and them, because they're filled with demons. They are legion. That's why they say refer to them as they and them. This will be a they them because it has multiple demons in it. And that's what these demon rats are. That's what these libtards are. That's how we got here. It's just a hijacking of all these demons infiltrated. The WEF infiltrated this. This has all been done by design. This is brainwashing through the media, through the films, indoctrination universities. It took time. It took time to to take root. And mostly it's taken root on the left. The left are the ones that have the virus. They have the commie virus. They have the tranny virus. They have the libtard virus. They have this. That's a girl. Over exaggerating what to be a guy. Nothing. Can't do anything right. Can't even lift up a dumbbell. The dumbbell cannot lift up a dumbbell. That's how stupid. That's how weak they are. Very weak aura. Very, if any, probably no aura. But this is where we're at. Okay. These demon rats now, these devils encourage children too young to drive or vote to have their breasts or sex organs removed, and then they go, "Shh! Can't tell your parents. Don't tell your parents. They're evil. They're wicked." All right. Allowing men to compete in women's sports. That's destroying women's sports. All right. There's no such thing as a trans woman. You're a dude dressing up, pretending to be a woman. That's what you are. So trans. You're not transforming into anything. And their president, Joe Biden, that excruciatingly senile, pathetically dishonest, and epically corrupt moron. And these demon rats are destroying America's economy, our energy sector, our military, our law enforcement, election integrity, national security, constitution, and overall national well-being as rapidly as possible. Back then, when I was growing up, we didn't have any of this. Yeah, you had Democrats. Yeah, you had Republicans. Yeah, Democrats still had elements of evil. But this country was still safe. We was pretty stable, pretty sane. The culture was sane. And like I said, the moral fiber was still intact. Okay? It's not like that anymore. It's not like that anymore. They're trying to destroy this country now. Like literally going for it. They're trying to destroy your children. The border's wide open. What's wrong is right. What's good is bad with them. Never was like this. Not like this. Even under Clinton, where this, I believe a lot of this started was political correctness. A lot of it, I mean, during the Clinton era. As soon as he went with that political correctness, I said, oh, that's not good. That's not good. But it didn't take hold in the 90s back then. Not until way after that. It was starting to take hold a little bit. Not like this. Not like this. Not like this. These bastards are violent. They support things like criminal terrorist organizations like Antifa. They say Antifa and BLM are very peaceful. because everything about them now is inverted. They call parents that don't want their children to be indoctrinated with trans bullshit domestic terrorists. You even have the government agencies like the CIA going in and snooping in Catholic churches to see if they're having a Latin mass. What business is of them? You know? Um, they keep pushing this white supremacist bullshit narrative. They keep saying January 6th was an insurrection, which it wasn't. That was an inside job. You and I know that, but this is what they're about. They keep pushing these narratives to destroy this country, to tear it apart. And now they're doing the replacement, flooding our borders with who knows what garbage. Look at this. That belongs in an insane asylum. That belongs maybe a horror house. Maybe what do they have over this at the fairs of old? They would have um, an attraction that you could go to on the fairs when they used to have county fairs for the like weirdos. They would have like a booth or maybe a crazy looking kooky house with a bunch of weirdos in it like that. Yeah, that's what they did back then. That's what they belong. They belong in places like that. They belong in insane asylums. And they're trying to normalize this insanity, these demons. And let's face it, this isn't political. This isn't political. All this shit that the left is doing, it's demonic. It's good versus evil. That's what all this is. The left has convinced, or should I say these demons seduced, 300,000 American youths, 300,000 American youths between 13 and 17 to identify as something that they're not, transgender. 300,000. So what you're seeing here is it's not political. It's just downright evil. This is a battle, and this is what America is in the throes of. A battle between good and evil for the soul of America. When I say this country needs an exorcism, I mean of all these demons. All these demons need to get gone. Either they turn around and repent and get saved by Jesus, or these demons just need to go. In my opinion, they're goners. A lot of these demon rats claim to be Christians, and they're not. You can't claim to be a Christian and want to destroy your country. You can't claim to be a Christian and want to destroy babies. You can't claim to be a Christian, you demon rats out there, you libtards, and push transgender. God made him male and female. Look at this. This doll says she, it, doll. Identifies as a doll or she or it. This is pure insanity. And this, look at one eye going to there, one eye straight. This is ridiculous. It's pure insanity. They're insane. So when they use these pronouns like they and them, it's because they're filled with demons. They are legion. All right? And purposely leaving our country's border wide open, the south border. Not only inviting, but intentionally engineering a full-scale and massive foreign invasion of America, including masses of young single men from terrorist hotbed countries into our country. That's evil. Commie News Network, MSDNC, all these libtard news, fake news media outlets that are portraying this as a benevolent, loving thing to do to let them in because they're just seeking asylum and they mean us no harm. That's evil. That's evil. The critical race theory, pushing that stuff in schools and stuff like that, that whitey bad, evil. All right? They're the racist. They're the fascist. Whatever they accuse us of being is what they are. It's what they are. They're insane. They're not American. All right? And hardcore pornography type books in the schools, right? To indoctrinate our kids. They're demonically possessed. What other way can you say it? Corrupting innocent toddlers by forcing them to sit at the feet of mentally ill, deranged, demonically possessed men in dresses that drag queen story hours, and the parents that bring them in there are libtards. They're demon rats. They're insane. They're evil. They're possessed. They're demon possessed. That's why we call them demon rats. And also, you got on these college campuses these students that have been indoctrinated into hating one country and supporting baby torturing terrorists. Why would so many young people side with Hamas while condemning Israelis as a genocide aggressors when they suffered the greatest one-day slaughter of Jews since the Nazi Holocaust and are now defending the nation? Now, that's true, but what people fail to see from the outside, in other words, you see that Israel was attacked, right? Now we know Israeli government allowed it, okay? But still and all, the innocent civilians were attacked. Their government, Israel government, allowed them to have it. Why would students on a college campus condone that? Innocent people. It could be you. You could be next. Just because they're happy that the Israelis died, you're a patriot. You're a truther. You're a conservative, right? And a lot of you out there are Christians. These same bastards want the same thing for you and me. All right? How sick would you? If they see that Hamas attacked it and killed and slaughtered a bunch of Israelis, innocent families and people. Now, you and I know that the government allowed it. But still in all, the innocents were killed, right? Now, a lot of you in Bitchuland says they all deserve to. I ain't down with that. I ain't down with that, all right? But these on the college campuses, they're siding with evil. They're siding with evil, right? And these wicked universities are brainwashing their sheeple students into thinking that if you're white, you're a colonizer, you're an oppressor, um, you're a white supremacist, that you're a second class, a third class citizen if you're white, and they're believing it. That's how simple they are. These college students. You have white libtards that literally are apologizing for being white, guilty white liberals. The insanity runs deep and it's destroying a country. It's evil. It's all evil. America has long been overall a Christian nation, but according to these libtards, righteousness does not involve things like obeying God's commandments, repenting of one's sins, and believing in and following his son Jesus Christ. Rather, the new righteous largely consists of simply being a part of a victim slash oppressed class, members of which are therefore implicitly held to a different behavioral standard than the wicked colonist oppressors and their privileged progeny. Yeah. Basically, it's rules for thee with them, not for me. They're the victim. White people that just want to go to work, patriots and stuff. We're seen as the oppressors, especially if you're white. We're seen as the colonizers. We're seen as white supremacists, and they're always playing the victim. That's how they see it. And whatever they do, it's a-okay. You can have Hunter Biden with a laptop. It's fine. It's fine. Trump didn't incite violence. The Patriots were not part of any insurrection, but they said they were. So they are, and they're put in gulags, DC gulags, right? If you defend your house or defend your life, they want to throw you in jail, right? But these libtards could go around killing people in the cities or BLM or Antifa. Crickets. They're not thrown in jail. Nothing. These libtards get away with murder, literally, especially in libtard areas. You can loot in California, and it's like, if it's under $1,000, well, it's a slap on the wrist. You slap on the wrist, especially if you're a libtard. It's disgusting what I see. It's disgusting. So what do we do about all these demons, considering that America does have tens of millions of good people, Christians, right? Patriots. What do you do? I've said this a long time ago. You need to have a spiritual rebirth. You need to have a revival. You need to bring back meritocracy. You don't get into this place based on your looks. You don't get into this university or get this job based on your skin color. Screw this affirmative action bullshit. You get the fecking job based on your merit. You get into this university based on your friggin' merit. Did you cut the mustard? And we don't mean farts. Passive gas. All right? We need to close our border. We need to kick all these New World Order POSs out. We need to deport all of these friggin' damn invaders. We need to have an exorcism of all these demons. And we need to have a revival and an actual cultural rebirth here in this country. This cultural woke shit, we need to kick it the hell out of this country. All right? Kick it out. That's what we need to do. We need to take our country back. All right? We need a true, deep, real revival. Because far too long, I think the church, I've been saying the church has been kind of lukewarm, or has been lukewarm. I mean, hell far. The church closed down for 3 weeks. Some places longer. During the lockdown, the church, if anything, should have bucked the system. They didn't. But the pastors that did, they got in trouble. But at least they stood up. We need to see more of that. Even some priests stood up, like Father Altman. But he's been kind of sort of exiled from the church. He's on his own now. But that's few and far between. We need more patriots to take a stand. We need to stop being passive about this. You know what I mean? Because they're not passive. They're actively, unfortunately, pushing all this shit. Corporations, Disney 666, Hollyweird, musicians, fake news apparatus, the military even's doing it, pushing all this bullshit, this woke shit. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. I mean, and when they say that this is like Marxism has been infiltrated our country, our culture, these libtarded ways of thinking, it goes way beyond political. Karl Marx, of anything, was anti-God. This is an anti-God movement, is what it is. This is an anti-what's right movement. That's what it is. They're so worried about the MAGA movement, the Trump movement, the Patriots movement, because they're evil. And conservatives, overall, most of them, patriots, are Christians. Not every single one, I didn't say that, but overall, are Christians. And that's what they're really against. They're against Christians. They're against God. Just take a look at them. Everything about them, everything out of their mouth, their whole ways of life, the way they think, it's all anti-life. It's all anti-good. It's all anti-God. It's all anti-American. It's all anti-rational. It's irrational. This is the stuff that insane asylums are made of. That's where they belong. Facts.com, truth.edu. But we need an exorcism. Because this can't go on much longer. And I know they want a civil war. They want order out of chaos. We really shouldn't be. We shouldn't give them that. What we should do is ramp up our information. This is an information war still. We need to ramp up. In other words, there might be 100 of you, 200 of you out there that see this video. Maybe less. Who knows with this? Because it's ridiculous. But just about everybody that sees this should, if you don't want to mirror this for whatever reason, or not mirror or share it, then you do you. You do your own video. You get on social media and you start calling out all these demon rats, the left, the libtards, the demons that are in them. Start putting all this on blast. And the solution is it's not only to wake up the normies. You do have to throw prayer in there that God wakes them up too. And offer them the solution. Solution is we need an exorcism of these demons. You know that we got to close our border. You know that we have to have a leader that's not a WEFer, not a New World Order POS. We need to clean up all the cancer that's infiltrated and affected this country. Okay? And we need, you talk about a reset, we need to get back to the way we were. We need a cultural reset. We need to kick this woke shit out of every sector of our country. Stop allowing them to indoctrinate your children. They know they can't get to us. That's why they want us gone first. But I'm just saying, they're working overtime on the children. Sure. I wouldn't send my kids to school. I wouldn't send my kids to universities or colleges. No. Not unless it was Christian or private slash Christian, and not pushing this woke crap. But even then, they're teaching stuff that probably isn't accurate. Like, no, the Christian ones would be more accurate. I think more good. But I'm just saying, you don't want them teaching kids lies that like the Earth is round and we went to the moon and shit like that. So you just gotta watch what you do. Homeschool them if you can. Get more self-sufficient if that's possible. But this is a battle, and they're coming fast and furious. There's more. There's actually they control more of everything. Like the what is it like six entities own the like the news media, right? Something like that. Six. All these friggin' corporations are pretty much ran by Luciferians. Just about. It's almost like we're surrounded or reliant upon all these demon rat, libtarded, satanic POSs that run these corporations just to get stuff that we need. You know, if you want to buy clothes, well, the company's probably a Luciferian. The founder is shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Food companies or Walmart or Target. You think they're Christian? I don't think so. Maybe once upon a midnight weary. But these demon rats are working overtime on destroying our country. Good versus evil. The satanic roots of the left and this all-out war on Christian America stems from Karl Marx himself, and he was a feckin' anti-God POS, just like these libtards. Don't be a troll out there. All right? Stuff that in truth pipe and smoke it. Make way, because current must flow. And if you listen to this,